Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome back to a professional match of StarCraft 2. Now what I've got for you today is a Zerg versus Terran, where apparently our Zerg player is already sending out a worker across the map. Spawning here, I guess in the 12 o'clock position on Purity and Industry, playing with the red Zerg drones. We're looking inside of the main base of Bly. Now as you guys know, Bly loves playing the crazy strategies. He's one of my favorite Zerg players to watch. Really complicated style in general to copy. It looks easy, but I've tried it many times and I always fail. This man loves going for proxy hatcheries. Okay, I was wondering if maybe he was going to plant it down in the natural of his opponent, but nope. It will go up right outside of the main base of the Terran player. With the blue SCVs on, I guess this is like 2:30, 3 o'clock-ish on that minimap. We're looking inside of the main base of Dream. Alrighty, so here we go. Dream, for those of you unfamiliar, very strong Terran player. I don't actually cover nearly as many games as I would like to of his. So, most pro gamers over in South Korea, they basically retire when they have to go and do their military duty, their mandatory military service. However, this guy mixed it up. He actually already has finished his military duty, and he's only 23 years old. Now, as of me making a video on Aligalek, he's considered to be the rank 24 in the world, and he has been getting better for the last year or so, which is when he finished his military service. So, definitely a name to keep in mind. He can technically keep going with this game for a very long time. Now, I'm not entirely sure how familiar he is with Bly. Bly obviously plays the game a little bit differently. This SCV is scouting right now for everything normal, and it's gonna figure out that everything is completely abnormal. 2 drones, 2 gases each. Okay, and then also a Roach Warren already coming up. So I think that is he gonna make a queen as well? Probably, right? I think he wants to go ahead and proxy like 3 Ravagers here, and then start dealing damage to the Terran player right from the get-go. As soon as that Roach Warren finishes, I'm assuming he's gonna start at production. Is he gonna go for a queen? No, he's just saving up. Okay, so yeah, so this is actually a build order. It is scouted right now by Dream, by the way. He figured out that something was not quite right with that SCV. But he's saving up the drones here so he can start up 3 of those roaches right at once as the Roach Warren finishes. Now, once the cocoons have been morphed in, they will take significantly less damage. Dream actually tried to target fire down one of those larvae, which is actually rather clever. But now 4 roaches are already coming up. There is a bunker as well on the low ground. Dream, are you sure? Because I'm not entirely convinced that you can actually hold on to this. Apparently the roaches, oh my god, actually the Overlord is just YOLOing in, yeah. He apparently is assuming that those Marines will run here. Eventually, Command Center does not finish. The boys apparently have been pulled from the mineral line, and this game is starting off with an absolute bang. This is a Bly game to a T. Now, he's trying to target fire on the Overlord. I love it, actually. Most players would probably ignore the OV, but that's huge, and he also does finish the Command Center and the bunker eventually. Now, I've got a feeling that this bunker will fall. There it is. However, the command center is done, and that's huge, obviously. This thing can fly. Bunkers can. I know. That's going to be StarCraft 3 or something. But bunkers, you know, they can be salvaged. This time around, though, didn't manage to do so. But having that extra command center out, if you can morph it into an orbital command, that would be absolutely huge. There's a Cyclone coming up as well, but Bly is smelling blood in the water. He's already killed 12 SCVs. That really is only like evening up the worker count though, because obviously he cut out a ton of workers in the early game. He needs to kill a lot more to make this worthwhile, but he's trying to see... Ooh, there we go, gets another one. He's trying to see if he can potentially obtain the victory right here, right now. Now, Cyclone is out, and that's huge. Just having that Cyclone here poking away at the Overlord is really, really nice. The Overlord is the one thing right here providing that high ground vision for those corrosive biles. You can see right now it's become a little bit harder for Bly to get that vision. He needs another Overlord. Well, they are flying through those slow zones. It will take a little bit of time. I think he was morphing in an orbital command and he may have just been forced to cancel it, but good hold so far by Dream. The thing is, he's very reliant right now on that bunker and then the one Cyclone. Now, I believe it takes 7 or 8 corrosive biles, I guess it's 8, to one-shot a bunker with just corrosive. And obviously you can do less as well if you get like one shot and then you line up the corrosive biles immediately. Anyways... There certainly is still potential right here for Bly to do a lot more damage. Okay, he decides to bile down the depot instead and just goes into the main base. That bunker in a little bit of a peculiar position. Ravagers do fall though. They take a lot of SCVs with them as well. A couple of Zerglings also produced as apparently Bly was running low on gas. Does get a couple kills here as well. Most of those Ravagers are falling. Nice bit of target firing. Micro battle between these two players. Okay. The Ravagers eventually do fall, but that was 7 more workers, and that brings this Terran player down to only 7 SCVs in total. Okay, well, the siege tank is out, right? I love the fact that he decided to go for the Cyclone first. A lot of Terran players will try to rush out the siege tank immediately, but that's so easy to corrosive bow, and I love this as well. Look at that. Okay, this is actually really cool. I think Dream probably prepared for this. Look at this. He's covering the siege tank with the command center, so the corrosive bows are hard to land. I've never actually seen anyone do that before. Okay, he probably anticipated the push already happening again. At this point, though, the Terran player doesn't really know if Zerk is droning up, which he is. No natural expansion just yet, though. He's still adding on more and more Roaches and Ravagers. There's 4 Overlords hanging in that little cloud. I think he probably wants to commit again. I think he wants to go for another attack wave. Now, that's going to be really risky, though. But in the grand scheme of things, there's really not that much here for this Terran player to defend with. He does finish up the second orbital command. Ooh, does he see the Roaches? Okay, he does. So he knows that there's more right now. That little scout there was huge, actually. Yeah, he immediately starts up another Cyclone. I love it. Okay, double mules, though. Well, I guess triple mule right now with one that was still left over. But having those extra mules out right now will certainly allow him to start skyrocketing in that income compared to his opponent. Despite the worker difference right now... Well, actually, I say skyrocketing, but then I looked at the worker count here. It's 21 drones versus 12 SCVs. Bly actually managed to squeeze this into an advantage right now. Wouldn't mind seeing him play macro whatsoever, but apparently he's decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to get rid of that siege tank. I'm going to try and see if I can win this game once again. The 4 Overlords fly... What? Okay, he's just using all those Overlords for high ground vision. This, for all intents and purposes, right now is a Overlord all-in, I guess? He wanted those Overlords here just to provide that high ground view, and that way he could obviously continue fighting. But the thing is, if this does not work out and Bly loses those 4 Overlords, I think that's pretty much game over. Because 4 OVs at this point is absolutely huge. A couple Zerglings coming up as well. Link speed did finish up. Metabolic boost, very important upgrade. Cyclone went to the other side of the map and went all the way back home. This one already has 9 kills right now. Siege tank comes out and it's actually unsieged, which I much prefer. Does he get anything else? Well, here's what I'm talking about, man. This can hurt so much. Can I title this video Overlord All-In? That's as far as I will go with clickbaiting, okay? But this, for all intents and purposes, was an Overlord all-in, right? If he would have lost all 4, he would have been in a world of trouble. Luckily here for Bly, though, he did manage to save 2. That's a little bit clickbaity, right? Overlord all-in? I've never seen anyone send in 4 Overlords to provide high ground vision, though. That really is forcing it, right? Okay. So, what exactly is the follow-up plan? Well, he's making queens, 2 at once. Terran, in the meantime, still just making a couple more Cyclones. I really don't know if I like the siege tank sieged up. I almost feel like it's better to have it unsieged. Here's one thing that a lot of Terran players are not aware of. Unsieged tanks actually have more single target damage than a sieged up tank. So oftentimes, and obviously it's also more mobile, right? If you want to dodge biles, it might actually not necessarily be the greatest thing to necessarily siege up your tank. Now, obviously, it's really far in the back. That's going to be a tough one to hit. I like this one a lot better than, like, the previous one that was right over there. Scan inside of the main base, though. That does confirm what exactly is going on. Terran, at this point, has no idea whether or not there's a natural. He obviously scouted that a couple of minutes ago with one of those Cyclones, but it's been a little while. Starport finally comes up as well. Ultimately, if you want to counter this as Terran, you need to get yourself one of those Banshees out, right? Like, Banshee's absolutely amazing. I guess if you can get multiple tanks as well, that will help out a lot. I actually kind of think that Bly might be giving up this position. I'm not sure if he is, but the spreading of the creep here kind of indicates that he wants to, like, bring this... Well, he's making a lot of units. What do I know, man? Yeah, I have no idea. I guess he's preventing the Terran player from expanding is what I'm trying to say, right? So, usually, especially if you have multiple mules inside of the main base, the main will start running low in about a minute or 2. So, in a way... The Zerg right now is soft containing the Terran player on one base. Actually, the island expansion, I would love that. I would actually love to see the island expansion on this map. I don't think Dream is thinking about that right now, but this is the only map right now in the map pool, and the first one in many, many years, that features an island expansion. I wouldn't mind seeing him take that orbital command over towards the island at all. Despite it being scouted immediately by the Zerg, I don't think it really matters. Anyways, additional barracks are coming up as well. Medivac now also comes up. I like the Medivac, actually. In the meantime, though, while these... oh my god, it's a distraction Overlord. Dude, the Overlords are the MVPs. That OV sacrificed its life right there just to try and distract those Cyclones. And, well, it did the job. But, I mean, the double siege tank did a lot of damage as well to those stacked up units on the ramp. Dream, though, in the meantime, managed to get himself that medevac out. And for the very first time in this game, he's finally going to be able to do a little bit of counter pressure. Spore Crawler coming up, probably anticipating a Liberator or maybe a Banshee or something along those lines. He thinks he has a Warp Prism. That's not a Warp Prism, dude. That's not an Immortal either. I guess Cyclone Juggling, man. That's the 2020 meta right now. Oh my god, look at this. I have not seen a lot of players pull that kind of trick off. That was awesome. Nicely done there by Dream. He actually is managing to catch up pretty nicely here, though. A lot of SCVs or a lot of Zerglings are coming up here, too, for the Zerg player. And while the natural finally was taken... Oh my god, dude. Look at this. Oh, he gets all the units out. Well, other than the ones that died earlier, I guess. But yeah, oh. Okay, well, never mind. Other than, like, obviously dealing a bunch of damage with those units, he's also forcing out a ton of Zerglings, which obviously aren't drones, right? So this works out quite nicely. You know what? The creep is actually spreading all the way from the other side of the map back towards the main base of the Zerg. This is a Bly game, alright. It's a Bly game. I like this a lot. Alright, looks like we've reached a bit of a lull in the game, though. While I say that, one more medevac filled up with units. Zerglings actually were chasing down that empty medevac. Except for one Jimmy over there, but yeah, this is actually rather annoying. Now the Lynx are probably going to have to go back home. There we go. A couple drones apparently were also produced on the other side of the map. Any worker count right now is huge. Love it. Another medevac. Actually, the same one. Filled with units. And you know what? I was talking about this earlier. The Orbital Command flying over towards the island expansion. Maybe he didn't want to do it earlier though, just because he needed the maximum value out of that orbital, right? He couldn't really waste a scan. So look at that. Or like waste energy for the flying, rather. He can't really waste the wheel. At the same time, while this is happening, Terran's also trying to secure the low ground. But here we go. Island base has been acquired. I actually thought, just by seeing a full medevac, that medevac was filled with Marines. Not the case. Those were 8 SCVs that were apparently sent on over towards that island base. Amazing. So, not quite your conventional game of StarCraft 2, huh? Uh-oh. Pretty crazy. Okay, so all of the mules are now landing on that island. Now look at this income right over here for Dream, okay? Pay attention to the mineral income as these mules get their value. Obviously, they will run out, but once the second return trip happens, look at this. Oh my god. That is so much money there. Couple more SCVs full. Yeah, Bly, I don't know. He's aware right now of this expansion, right? But yeah, I don't know if he necessarily wants to stay here. Once Stimpack finishes up, which is not really that far away from finishing right now, but I think it could have already been done. You gotta be very careful that, like, the Terran player doesn't just stim forward and kill all of your Ravagers. Super risky move. Roach speed is happening right now. We see +1 carapace, so that's gonna benefit both the Zerglings and then the Roaches and Ravagers too. Third command center also coming up. There's 2 dropper lords. Dude, I think he's... Oh, yeah, I think that's exactly what's going on. I think he's gonna drop Zerglings on that island base. Okay, yeah, there's Nematized Carapace. That's Overlord speed. Here we go. Dude, I love StarCraft. I've been playing this game for 10 years. I've never seen a game like this. Isn't that amazing? Seriously, some people ask Lowko, why do you like StarCraft? Games like this, absolutely, like... Players are getting better and better and better, man. This is so sick. Alrighty. So that base will be forced to lift. Is he gonna send in, like, evacuation troops? Yeah, he will. The 2 medevacs trying to see if they can potentially pick up some of those SCVs, but that is 20 SCVs going down just like that. Dream apparently felt cheeky. He was like, what do you gotta do? Bring Mutalisks? I know you're not gonna be able to tech up to those very easily. What about a Nidus network? Huge commitment. Why's like, well, I can just, you know, I can just go for, like, Overlords. Man, the Overlords have been the MVPs in this battle. I'm gonna title this video Overlord All In, okay? Someone's gonna get triggered in the comment section. It's gonna be fun. Hey, by the way, missile systems. Are you supposed to put your missile turrets over there? Anyways. Well, those Zerglings actually. Yeah. While the Zerg player is still distracting this army over here, the Lings are going to be dropped inside of that main base. Dream, though, I mean, he did secure the low ground here eventually. Plus, he's cleaned out most of the creep that was covering the natural. Ugh, this is what I was talking about earlier, right? Once Stimpack finishes up, this is not really something you can stay. Yeah, Bly decides to cancel the Roaches over there, too. And finally, the natural is secured. In the meantime, one Liberator. Love it. By the way, Dream, oh my god, he's only got 6 workers remaining right now. Yo, 57 SCVs have died here. Finally, the proxy hatchery will be killed, but look at the tumors. Oh my god, that creep spread is actually ridiculous. The creep spread has spread backwards. Insane. Okay, well, let's take up inventory right now, though. Because, yeah, the SCV count not looking that great, but he does have 3 orbital commands and he's dropping mules. That is 100% keeping him in the game. Plus, the supply count actually when it comes to the army is right now 56 for Zerg and 56 as well for Terran. So pretty much dead even. Although I think I prefer this army composition right here from the Terran quite a bit. He already has +1 infantry weapons as well. Yeah, this is not a fight you can really take. You gotta get out of there, Bly. Nicely done. Oh my god, Dream. You have lost so many workers. You've only got 9 SCVs. Now, this is a thing that Dream is well known for. He basically loves going, and the Zerglings are still here, by the way. But he loves going for just like mule production, and then he just spends all of his money on making on making army units. So he's not really producing a couple of banelings. Where did they come from? Anyways, he's not really producing a lot of SCVs, just a couple at a time, mostly prioritizing that unit production instead. Now this ramp over here is going to be pretty easy to hold, although Bly, yeah, indeed can rain those corrosive balls. There's the banelings. Oh my god. That was actually surprisingly close. 6 SCVs actually in the grand scheme of things, which literally was like half his work account. Literally like. Good English, Lowko. Well done, man. Thanks. Sorry, just having a conversation with myself. Okay, now, this position over here, like I said, though, gunning down this like, or rather corrosive biling down this ramp is really nice. Terran is now sending a medevac full of Marines towards the 3rd base of the Zerg. I'm gonna call this the 3rd, although technically it's the 4th hatchery. Also, at the same moment, dropping the main base. I like this a lot. Dream, looking to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and you know what? This position that he's got is phenomenal. Zergling's still apparently trying to run around the map. A couple drones, once again, will end up going down. Bly's gonna be very cautious here with the amount of units that he actually splits off. 4th hatchery? No way. No way. Ugh, no cancel. No cancel. Anti-armor missile flies forward. Does cover most of those Zerg units in that orange paint. And that does actually now mean that Bly has to back off. He wants to defend against these units in the natural expansion, but those units will take an additional amount of damage right now from every single shot of those Marines. That's a lot of additional damage output. Just the one Raven here is massive. He's now also getting in range of the siege tanks. Picks up all of the units once again in those medevacs, but corrosive balls do kill 2 of the tanks. At the same time, by the way, once again, 6 SCVs fell, but the Marines are also gunning down the drones over at the 3rd base location. Guys, I think that Dream may have done it. I think that Dream may have pulled a rabbit out of a hat. He's a magician. Amazing. I mean, is he? Well, the reinforcements are coming up right now. There's like barely any Zerg remaining. The creep spread is great on the other side of the map, but not so much at home. And that means that these Zerg units are having a super hard time defending. Well, actually, there were still a couple of Roaches and Ravagers inside of the main base too, but every single time they walk down the ramp, they take a couple of shots from those siege tanks. 24 drones, 26 drones fall right now. Roaches looking very low in hit points. The medivacs heal up as many of those Marines as they can. Extremely valuable right now. Is there enough Zerg to hold on? Oh my god, he actually balls one of his own Roaches. Well, there's barely any workers remaining right now. Only 10 drones are here. 6 SCVs, or rather 6 Marines are being produced at once. He does manage to get a corrosive ball down on the medivacs. Another medivac does fall, but with that, the final Ravager as well. And the natural expansion of the Zerg has been picked up. At the same time, Brenda! Brenda, what are you doing? Dude, there was so much happening in this game, I didn't even catch all of it. But for some reason, Brenda the Queen decided to walk on over all the way towards the natural. And I think Bly was like, spewing creep right there with the Overlord to lay down a creep tumor and to make Brenda a little bit more mobile. I guess her old joints ache when she's off creep. That was awesome. That was amazing. That was one of the best games of StarCraft that I've seen recently. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I mean, if you didn't, what's wrong with you? I've noticed that whenever I give commentary, I'm starting to fire shots left, right, and center. I used to be a lot nicer in these videos, I feel like, but as I get older, I guess, I don't really know what to say, man. It is just what it is. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Special shout out, of course, to the Patreon supporters. Thank you very much for the generosity. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to smile. And I'll see you once again in the next one.